For my next build, I decided that I wanted to make this Formula One race scene as seen in the manual for set 5508. You've got a Formula One car, a lady with tires, a smaller Formula One car, you got the start and finish line with a flag, and then you have the tree in the background. So let's build this thing and I'll show you how it turns out. And here's the final product. In the front you'll see the Formula One car, which I think is the star of the show, and I replicated that car exactly. You have a smaller car in the back here, which I replicated for the most part. And then you have the start and finish gate with the flag on the side. Over here you have a very basic tree, and then of course the minifig sitting in the driver's seat of the Formula One car, and the female with the tires in the background. So next we'll go through each of these pieces individually so you can get a better look at them. For the first part of this build, we'll look at my favorite piece, and that of course is the Formula One car. This thing they did really well. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Every piece just kind of works out perfectly. I think the shape of it's great. You can see how it looks from the top. You've got the wing on the back, and you can see the engine back here. Here's the reverse. Not too much to look at there. That's probably the weakest angle of it, but everything else I think turned out really well. I like what they did with the sides. Here's the bottom and how the pieces interconnect. And the front, I think the front clip there looks great. And the colors, pretty good. I would have liked a more uniform color, but they had to use what they had from the set that I was using, which was 5508. And not a bad little build here. I might actually make a video of this on its own just to show people how to build this, because this is a really cool thing, and the way that the pieces interact together was really neat, and the way the front clip sits on there really well. So that is the Formula One car, and my favorite piece from this entire set. Next we'll take a look at the other little Formula One car that's included with the set. This is a much smaller build and very simple. I didn't really like the way this one turned out too much. I had to do some modifications onto the side here. They have these just being flat pieces stacked up too high, and I didn't have any of those in this set. I don't know if they took some liberties there, but I'd made it work with what I had. It doesn't look so good over the wheel wells, as good as what it did in the photo, but it turned out. The back end is very plain. You got the orange wing on the top with this. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but that's how it was in the photo. You got the steering wheel, and then the little slanted pieces coming up there. So this is a nice small build, but definitely not quite as good as the original Formula One car that was the star of the show. Third part of this build, this is just a backdrop. This is the start/finish gate. You can see how this is built. You just got some 4x2 flats there with two pillars coming up, and that's what the top looks like. The coolest part of this is probably the flag. These pieces came with the set, so that's kind of a non-standard piece, but then you just use the standard pieces there to create a nice little checkered flag for the finish line, and I think that's kind of cool. Looks good in the background of the shot. And finally you have the tree. What can I say about the tree? This is pretty basic. From this side you can't really tell it's anything, and then from both sides it's just got some mix of the dark and light green with an orange trunk. Since there's no brown included with this set, I think it looks okay, and looks kind of nice in the background as well. So there's a little bit of a tree to make some background while you're racing through the start/finish line. So that turned out okay, and I'd probably maybe make something more three-dimensional if it was my own creativity here, and maybe I will in the future for a future tree. The last build was the girl with the tires. Really nothing going on there at all. That's kind of a joke. It's just one tire there and a couple tires on the side, and then you had the minifig there, so very basic. So there you have it. That's the Formula One race scene as seen in the manual for set 5508. I think it was a really fun build. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Try to make this on your own. I think you can see pretty well how to build these things from this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll have another video up here soon.